any business needs some sort of system to keep track of what's going on in your business. You know, Excel can be a system, but it doesn't really tell you what you need to know. I mean, you're entering some information, but is it going to really give you information to help you run your business? A shoebox is not a system. You know, it's for people who don't care where they are during the year and wish to pay a lot of money at the end of the year to have their taxes done without really knowing whether it's right or wrong, because do you have everything in the shoebox and is it getting recorded correctly? So, do you need software? Do you sell stuff? Do your customers owe you money? Do you know, are they paying you on time? Do you buy stuff? Are you buying things from vendors, supply stores, things that you are reselling? And do you owe money to those vendors, or are you just paying everything in cash? Do you want or do you have a bank loan? If you want to get a bank loan, you should have some sort of system in place. At QuickStart, one of the main things that we do is we help people prepare business plans, and then we help get the financing in place. And once you get that financing in place, you're going to be, start keeping track of things. How is your business going? In a system such as QuickBooks, there's an area called budgeting where you've put together this nice set of projections for a business plan, and now you can take those numbers and put them into budgets, and then as your business goes, you can compare actually what's going on in your business against what you thought was going to happen when you put that business plan together. Business plan is an ongoing thing. It's not just something you prepare to get a bank loan and throw on the shelf somewhere. It's kind of a living, breathing document that you should be constantly looking at and updating, at least on an annual basis, maybe more often than that. But if you have a system in place, then you can run these comparative reports if you put the information in. Do you pay things with a credit card? Well, that's fine if you buy things and you pay them with a credit card, but how is that information getting into your business? There are ways to, in QuickBooks that you can enter that information in. Do you have goals? When you set out at the beginning of the year, do you know what you want to do for the next year in sales? How much do you want to grow? What do you anticipate your cost of goods sold to be? Is it a percentage? Like Rick talked before, you want to make sure that you're making profit on the goods that you're selling. If you're losing money on every sale and trying to make up in volume, it's not going to work. You need to know, hey, I thought my cost of goods sold was going to be 50%, meaning I'm marking everything up, 100%. Well, as time goes on, we're in January now, February, March, April, May, June. You can run reports on a monthly basis, year-to-date basis, and look and see, is my gross profit indeed what I thought it was? Is it 50%? Or is it 40%? Well, if it's down by 10%, that's going to affect your bottom line. Maybe now you're not going to have enough money to cover some of those operating expenses. So if you've got all your stuff in a shoebox, or you're not entering things in properly, how are you going to know these things to be able to make decisions in your business? You want to be able to be proactive. You want to be able to anticipate things that are going on and anticipate the changes so it can help you be a better business owner. Now, as everybody, like I said, almost said in the introduction, not everybody wants to be an accountant. You don't have to be one, but there are people that can, that can help you to get the information that you need to be a better business owner. And that kind of gets down, do you know where your business is at any point in time? Do you know where you're making money or you're losing money? A lot of people think that they're making money because they have cash in the bank. But they might also have a desk drawer full of bills that they haven't paid yet because they don't have the cash to do it. Well, it's kind of misleading. So in an accounting system, you can enter those bills in, and then maybe you haven't paid them yet, When you get the cash, you can pay them, but it'll give you a better report as to timing and are things being reported properly. Do you collect sales tax? If you're selling products or where you have to collect sales tax, there's areas within QuickBooks that you can, if it's set up properly, you can run reports. It tells you how much you have to remit to the state. If you're selling in different counties, many different counties have different tax rates, and you've got to record things by county and all that stuff. If you're trying to do it all by hand, it's just going to be a pain to do. So you need a system to be able to help you record those things. So, I guess in summary then is how cumbersome is it to do all these things by hand? Get a system in place, get the help that you need to get it set up, to have someone teach you how to understand what these things are telling you. You don't need to know everything, but a lot of times there's going to be some specific indicators, maybe certain ratios or whatever that are hot buttons in your business. And maybe there's 3 or 4 of these things that, hey, if I look at these things every week or every month, it's going to tell me how I'm doing. And you can get an accountant or somebody that can help you with those things. So, what are some of the objections to putting a system in place? I'm not big enough. Well, if you do any of the things that we talked about before, you probably need a system. Do you want to grow? I mean, if you're running your business out of your home, you only got a couple things going on, maybe you can keep track of it by yourself. But generally, if you want to grow your business, and most people want to do that, it's a lot easier to put the system in place and learn it while your transactions are kind of minimal and small. And then as you grow, it becomes a lot easier. Then, all of a sudden, oh my gosh, I got so much going on. Now I got to figure out how to keep track of it. And then you got to learn something new on top of it. So, if you start when you're small, it just makes that whole process a lot easier. Another objection is, I can't afford it. Really, probably for $1,000 or less, you can get QuickBooks, you can get it installed, you can hire somebody to help you to get some training on it, get you to understand what's going on, and then get the help that you need to be a better business owner, make sure that you're staying on track. I don't like accounting. Well, you don't have to be an accountant, but you do need to know what's going on in your business. So, that's why you hire accountants. You don't have to do it all yourself, but you do need to understand your business. I don't want my employees seeing my stuff. Well, in QuickBooks, you can set up separate users so that you can only, you can allow them just to see the stuff that you want them to see. So if they're entering your accounts payable, invoices, they don't have to see, they're not going to see payroll. They're not going to be able to, run your profit and loss reports and all those sorts of things. So you can, narrow down the things that they can do, so they're not, seeing anything that they're not supposed to. So, in summary, if you have a system such as QuickBooks, record things properly, it'll help you be where you want to be when you want to grow. You'll have the history to show a banker if you want to borrow money. You'll know where you are at any point in time. You may need help from an accountant, so you get a better understanding of what the information is telling you. But it's better than not knowing at all what's going on in your business, or just knowing kind of at the end of the year, take your taxes in, get your taxes prepared, and they tell you, yep, you made money, or no, you didn't, or here's how much you owe to the tax man, and all that stuff. Well, most people, they don't want to run a business like that.